Good evening, everyone. This is Coach A, and I'm coming in live from BCAP Coffee Republic, the home of certified life coaches here in the Philippines and soon to be global. This is Coach A, and you're joining me for Thursday, Strengthening Thursday. This is Coaching for the Soul, and for tonight, we're going to be talking about pray and grow rich. So for those of you who are prayerful, for those of you who've been praying to grow rich, this is the night for you. Strengthening Thursday is actually for you, for inner core, for inner strengthening, for really recalibrating your soul so you start living beautifully and staying alive, and so you can get more purpose, more reasons, and more of your whys in life. For tonight, I want to take this moment to just welcome officially on floor our certified life coaches. Coach Kay Sabala, if you're watching, and our people from Tacloban, si Coach Joyce, and a friend from NLU, Joy, is here on floor right now. Nakarating din pagkatapos maligaw. Okay, welcome to the house. Okay, so for those of you watching in Region 8 right now, we hope to welcome you home one of the coming days whenever you go to Manila. Si Coach Randy missed us last Saturday. We hope that Coach Randy, if you're still in Manila, I don't know if you're still in Manila, please drop by and see us one of these days. Okay, for those who's coming us for the second time, for the first time, welcome back. Thank you for joining. And for those of you, okay, who are not yet certified life coaches, most of the people on floor right now are certified life coaches. Where are the coaches in the house? Okay, if you are thinking about diving into our profession, if you are thinking of becoming a certified life coach, if you are coaching right now, if you are those people who are the go-to person in your community, in your church, in your family, in your office, okay, most likely you are a coach by heart. Most likely you are a coach right now by practice. We invite you to look into life coaching. We invite you to look into being professional life coach so you can help more people as you are being equipped with the tools, with the skill sets, and with the resources of being a certified life coach. I am Coach A, and I am the global partner of the Life Coach Training Institute that is based in Dallas, Texas, USA. And I do life coaching certification program in behalf of the Institute. And Batch 21 is graduating tomorrow. All right? We have 8 students in Batch 21, but we are there are only 7 who will be graduating tomorrow. Si Coach Aimee will be graduating in Cebu. Akalain nyo. Day 1 in Manila, Day 2 in Cebu. Okay. So one of our 8 students will be graduating in Cebu, will be joining our Cebu run, which is going to be happening this April 27 and 28. So if you're coming from Region 7, we will be there this coming April 27 and 28 for our 2 days back-to-back certification program. Alright, so if this is the first time that you are joining me, if this is the first time that you are watching me, if you are watching this on a replay, I'm a certified life coach, and aside from certification program, I do empower people to be mentally fit so you can stay alive and live beautifully. I also coach people back to life of freedom, joy, happiness, and complete control, because many times people lose control of their lives, so you also lose control of your very reasons and very essence of being alive, and so you continue to struggle instead of thriving in life. For tonight, okay, I want to dive into most of the common reasons why people struggle, and that's about our finances. Coach Kay Sabala said, okay, I'm watching now and I'm very happy that Coach Joyce is there right now. Okay, nakarating si Coach Joyce. Oo, nakarating siya, hindi siya naligaw. Okay, she's home. Alright, so would you agree with me that one of the reasons people are really stressed in life, okay, people hardly sleep at night, is because of finances? Yes. Right. Okay. If you are watching and if you know someone who's struggling in finances right now, if you know someone who's really challenged right now financially, I really encourage you to share this to your timeline or to your Facebook groups so we can help other people be enlightened about the power of prayer for you to grow rich, okay, in your life. Okay, for those of you thinking, I am not a Christian, I am not a Catholic, will this work for me? I believe all of us in one form or another knows how to pray. Would you agree with me? Yes. Okay, so I believe every one of us utter prayer. And what is prayer? Prayer is our way of communicating to our God, our way of communicating to the higher being, our way of communicating to our Creator, our way of communicating to someone who's higher than us. And hello, Coach Mel. Okay, sabi ni Coach Mel, hello daw, okay, to all the people on floor. Coach Mel is from Cebu. Okay, so I'm gonna dive and share with you a written material from by Jennifer Slattery. She's a writer, she's an editor, she's a speaker, and normally she would address her group of women in the church. This was posted a couple of years back in crossroad.com, and I want to dive in and share with you her writings because this is very universal. She shared about 10 things to pray, okay, that for us to be able to gain the financial, not freedom, but confidence in our finances. If you are familiar with Think and Grow Rich, sino familiar doon? Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill. The concept of, if you have not read that book and if you are interested to have a PDF copy of that, just message me personally and I'll send you a PDF. I have a PDF of that book. Okay, Coach Chanel, hi! Thank you for joining us. What time is it now in your country? Hamid, okay, hello, thank you for joining us tonight. Okay, for those of you joining us tonight, it would be very interesting for people to hear. We're here on floor and you're watching us online. It would be interesting if you can comment and share your thoughts with us as we talk about money. Because many times people are not comfortable talking about money. So as I begin my talk, I check with my coaches, with my guests on floor, anyone of you here who's not comfortable with money, at sinong hindi gustong yumaman? Who doesn't want to go rich? So wala. So komportable. Okay. Cherry, Coach Cherry from Bicol, thank you for watching. Okay, hello Coach Cherry. Okay, so why I want to talk about money and why I want to talk about you praying and getting rich, because I'm an advocate of mental health, an advocate of mental wellness, and more often than not, one of the primary trigger points of people is when we talk about money, when we talk about finances, when we talk about how to get by each day, how to get our needs, how to get our wants supported. Okay, Coach Sean, okay, the couple coach, we also have another couple coach in the house. Would you agree with me? Mahirap pag-awayan ng pera. Very challenging ang pera. Coach Chanel, it's 7:24 a.m. Okay, so we have a 13-hour difference. Thank you so much for joining us, Coach Chanel. Okay, so most of the time when we talk about money, it is a very sensitive issue. Whether you are in a relationship, you're a couple, you're in partnership, in business, when you talk about money, it would cost you some stress. Money is a stressor. Hello? Agree? All right. Now, if you have if you are a follower of Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, okay? I don't know if you would still remember, but faith is on chapter 3. He talks about faith. He talks about faith as part of you thinking and grow rich. All right? He talks about the value of faith. He talks about if you have faith, naturally, the kind of thinking, the kind of mindset that you have will be aligned for you to get the resources that you need. He also talked about faith as one of the 3 very strong emotions, very strong resolve of a human being. That if you have faith, you can move mountain. If you have faith, everything is possible. If you have faith, things will move. However, have you ever wondered why, when we talk about money, people kind of, will really God provide? Christians in the house, Catholics, we believe that God is our provider. God will be the source. But if we really believe in that, how come we worry about money? How come we worry about finances? How come there's such a thing as crunch time in numbers? Like crunching time. How come meron tayong tinatawag na pecha de peligro? Okay, what's pecha de peligro? Chanel, pecha de peligro in Tagalog, it means that this is the days towards nearing the pay slip time, the payday time, and most of the time, these are the time when we don't have enough money to get us by until the next pay slip.
Corporate coach and critical wallet days.
Critical wallet days. Wow, may ganun palang term. Okay. Coach Marine, good evening. Dito si Coach Joyce. Oo. Critical wallet days. Wow, that's the English, Coach Chanel, courtesy of Coach Sean. Okay, critical wallet from the corporate lingo. Okay, now, millions of people right now in our era, in our time, okay, nearing retirement age, lost their jobs, all right, right now, we have millions of people who are really on a crunch time, really on a crunch moment, because as they grow older and moves towards retirement. By the way, uso na rin ngayon. We are also facing early retirement, if you have heard that. Hello, Coach Cici. Si Coach Cici was here earlier, right? Okay. As you go towards the stage where you are retiring, the next question is, where would I get the money? People who lost their jobs. Okay? People who face foreclosure of their business. People who've been part of the company that merge, yung mga merging, the product of merging. Okay? What happened? If you believe that God can provide, and God is the source, and God is rich, God is the ever giver God. He is the Jehovah Jireh who provides. How come we worry about money? Yeah. Let me ask, Pastor, do you worry about money? Yes. So do you sin? Diba sabi worry is a sin? Worrying is a sin. Yeah, but that's really true, right? Even if we know that to worry is to sin, I think that's the common sin that we commit almost every day of our lives. Come on now, be honest. Do you know that financial freedom is not true? There is no such thing as financial freedom. With all due respect to all the people who are sharing financial freedom, there's no such thing as financial freedom. Because financial freedom can only be true at one moment. The following day, after all your money and all, you are still again in bondage. You are not free from any financial obligations. What we are striving is financial confidence. We strive for financial confidence, not financial freedom. Because as long as we live, as long as we remain on earth, there will be bills to pay. There will still be obligations to settle. And so, we don't have financial freedom, but we have financial confidence. Alright? Towards the end of the talk, I'm gonna dive in and show the difference between being rich and being wealthy. But for you to be wealthy, you have to be rich first. So being rich and being wealthy are not the same. They're two different words, but tonight I'm gonna dive into praying and growing rich. Are you ready? Ready. Okay, I'm gonna share with you 10 things you must be praying. We must be praying if we want to grow rich. Ready? Yep. Okay. Prayer number 1. Okay. Lord, help me to trust you. Obedience comes from surrender. And surrender rests on trust. You cannot surrender to the ways and means of God if you cannot trust Him. We know this intellectually, but honestly, how many of us really, truly trust the God we call upon each day? Anxiety, depression, stress is coming from our inability to trust the God who provides. We redirect our thoughts to the ways of man. We normally direct our thoughts to our own potentials, to our own capabilities, to our own bank accounts. Okay? The source of our provision is who? The employer. Yeah. How many of you struggles when there is a news of foreclosure of business, merging, redundancy? Ellen can connect. Ellen connected by, di ba? Okay. How many of you would worry when you hear the news that your company will shut down in 30 days? How many of you wants to do what you're passionate about, what you love to do, but you are so worried that you will not have enough money to buy food and to pay your bills? Who has been in that situation? How many of you is chained in those dreams our parents have given to us? Expectations of people around us. How many are you right now who's employed in a particular company because that company, okay, provides the money you need even if it compromises your values in life? Okay. If you want to pray and grow rich, the first prayer you have to learn is the prayer of asking God to help you trust in Him. Trusting in His ways. Trusting that the bills will be paid. Trusting that when medical bills piles up, the provider will show up and provide the amount that you need. When was the last time? Hi, Coach. Oh, hi, Coach. Coach Joy. Are you with Coach Aga? Hello, everyone daw, sabi ni Coach Joy. All right. When was the last time you needed money? Walang BPI. Okay. When was the last time you asked, you needed money? Okay, yes, BPI, the Bank of Philippine Islands, been out for 2 days. Okay, that also affected our payroll. Okay, so, and you needed money, you don't have money, you cannot withdraw your money from the bank. What was your prayer? What was your prayer? Did you pray? And we are just quiet. Most of us got worried, but we didn't pray. Did any one of us pray, God, I trust you, that something miraculously would happen and this BPI will come into operation? Who among us prayed for that? Many times when chaos hits us, when unwanted and unexpected bills come, when unforeseen situation hits our family, that it will affect and wreck and challenge our finances, we miss that even at those times, we can trust. Growing rich will never be possible if we cannot trust the giver, the source. And if you are connected, we are connected with the source, we can trust. If we know that the source is abundantly there, seated at the throne with all the abundance, then we can be confident and we can trust. But really, be honest. How much you trust the giver? How much do we trust the source? And how much do you pray, God, help me to trust you, even when it's difficult? Prayer number 2. If you can trust God, the question is, can you pray? Will you pray for God to change your heart? Countless of times we trust God. Countless of times we say, God, I trust you for provision. God, I trust you for means. God, I trust you that you will direct my steps to the right path. But how many times do we pray and say, God, change my heart? Because ultimately, the source, the giver, is willing. However, the recipient doesn't have the right heart, the posture of heart to receive. How many times you keep changing your heart, not for good, but to doubt the giver, to doubt where the provisions will come, to doubt where will you use the money. Many times, the purpose of asking for more is triggered by greed, triggered by wanting more, or sometimes our impulse not to buy, but our impulse to please other people. We live in a world of consumerism culture where we celebrate instant gratification. I want it now. Hence, what do you do with your credit card? Entitlement. And the undercurrent of your discontentment. Whenever you see the person next to you, the person in the office, a family member have something you don't have, and you feel like, why I don't have it? Well, I deserve it. You don't have the budget, you don't have the extra money for it. What do? You swipe that card, and later on, you wonder what happens to it. How many times would you pray, God, change my heart over these expenditures? God, change my heart over my wants. God, change my heart over the desires I have. God, change my heart for what burdens me. Really look into the desires and the needs that you have today. How many of that would you say is godly? how many of your desires is godly? How many of your desires and wants that if you come face to face with God, you'll say, God, I really want this. Do you have more wants? Do you have more needs? You have car, you want a new car. Your car. You have a home, you want a larger home. You have a mansion. You have a condo. The next thing, you want a resort, a vacation house. You have a car. You have a bus. You have a van. The next thing you want, helicopter. Right? How many times would you pray and say, God, change my heart, that all the things I ask will be given, not to the exchange of my relationship with you. Many times when we receive what we ask from God, our heart goes further from God. One story that I would always remember that is being preached in the pulpit would be, you pray for the car. When you receive the car, you're not seen in the church because lagi naka-test drive ang kotse. Vacation galore. You ask for money, you ask for business, and the moment your business starts thriving, the more you are worried because as the money comes in, as the money flows, you are worried about many things. How many of you would agree, or how many of you have experience, or how many of you know some people who, the more they have money, the more they are stressed? Is that you? Is that you? More money muna before ma-stress. I mean, why are you really stressed?
So, Coach, so if having more money is getting rich, so why do we want to be rich?
Because the question here of Ellen is, if more money will bring you more stress, why do you need more money?
Why do you want to get rich?
Why do you want to get rich? Because the question here is, what is the posture of your heart for the purpose of the money? What is money for you? Is it a tool? For what? Instant gratification? Or a tool to help? A tool to advance the kingdom of God? A tool to be a better person? A tool to send people to school? A tool to give people food on the table? What is money for you? Is money a tool or an entitlement? I work hard, so I deserve more money. I'm intelligent, so I deserve more pay. It is not how much you have, but the question is what kind of heart you have for what you have. Where would you like to use your money? There will never be enough money in the world to do what you want to do, but there will be enough money to pursue God's calling and purpose for your heart. So can you pray for God to change your heart so that you receive money according to the purpose and calling He has for you? On my number 3, okay, Lord, here's the thing. Can you pray? Would you pray? God, grant me contentment. Every time we receive great things in life, do we want more? Do we want an increased thing? Do we want a better version of that the following year? Why do you buy clothes? It's because it's worn out and need to be replaced, or because you want a better brand? Why would you max out your credit card to buy gifts that you cannot afford? Because you want to please the person, you love the person, or you want to say, I can afford it? How contented are you for what you have today? Coach Melissa, being rich without troubles is a true blessing from God. Oh, that's very noble. How many people can be rich without troubles? I think being rich immediately brings you trouble, but the thing is, what kind of trouble do you have? Because the moment you're rich, you have money to spend, it will be troublesome. but it can be joyful if you know the purpose of your spending. Yeah. I believe we can never be free from troubles. I believe so. Yeah. Create a charity, create a foundation, create something good, you would have your trouble. Okay, Coach Chanel said, a tool for the kingdom. Yeah. Even if you use your money to advance God's kingdom, you will be in trouble. It will be troublesome. But the question is, are you joyful with the trouble? Our journey to a life of bliss begins with a life of contentment. And what is contentment? You can be content in lack, in abundance, in just enough, little or more. Apostle Paul said that. Being contented is the beginning of our journey to peace. How many of you would buy a car, a brand new car, even if your existing car is still in use? Why would you buy a new car? Why would you buy additional house? Okay. Do you pray for contentment? Yes? Number 4. Interesting. Will you pray? Can you pray? Or do you pray for confidence? Confidence. For you to be rich, you need to be confident. What is confidence? What is being confident got to do with being rich? Your insecurity will cost you money. Insecurity is very costly. Very costly. Some people buy things they don't need. Invest on great things. They don't see value, but because it's giving them the boost of confidence. Many people would use their money to buy confidence, but you cannot buy confidence. You can only pray for it. Yes? How many of us buy things, wear things, and immediately you feel confident wearing those branded clothes and shoes? Many of us buy things with the money we don't have just to impress other people. And why do we need to impress? Because we don't have the confidence that as it is, with the brands that we wear, with the clothes we have, with the bags we have, with the shoes we have, with the kind of lifestyle we have, people can value us. And that we are a significant person regardless of the brands we wear. May pagtutama! Chinkitan, okay? One thing that I got from Chinkitan is like over a decade ago when I got into my credit card, and ever since then, I never had a credit card. So it's really from Chinkitan. I attended this session and here's what I got from him. He said, if you have a loan, if you have a debt, you have no right to have a savings. Yeah. And it put a mark in my head. He said, if you owe somebody, then you do not have a right to have a savings account. He said, if you owe somebody, empty that bank account, pay that person in every inch. Yeah, I got it. If you owe somebody, you don't have the right to watch movies. I don't know if my husband would remember this, but there was a time we don't really watch movie. We don't really spend, well, number one, we don't really spend a lot of money with that. But God has been very faithful because during that time, okay, when after attending that session, said we should not be watching movie because we owe some people money. And lo and behold, God has been very faithful. I happen to have an employee whose sister is working in Ayala. And every month, she would have an allocation of ticket for movie. And there's so much. And she would come to my office and she would give us free tickets. Yeah, that's a real story. So for years, we've been watching movie without paying a single centavo. And I got it from Chinkitan. He said, you should not have a bank account. No savings account, no money on your savings account if you owe somebody. Because every inch that you're earning is supposed to be going to the people you owe. It works. We still have debts to pay, but it has been, personally, that's been what I'm living on. Not financial freedom, financial confidence. And where the confidence coming, that we can pay our loans, we can pay our debts. The question is, are you confident that you will not go bankrupt if you release your money and pay all your debts? Or you hoard your money? Many of us would hoard money. I don't wanna pay you, walang matitira sa akin. Eh, paano yung pinagkautangan mo? Yeah. Prayer number 5. Okay, this is gonna be a test for everyone. Give me a generous heart. Lord, give me a generous heart. God said, if you have not been trustworthy in handling worldly wealth, who will trust you with true riches? If you have not been trustworthy with little, how can you be trustworthy with much? Okay? Your ability to be generous, your ability to give, has nothing to do with if you have more or you have less. If you have 100 pesos and you cannot give, if you have 100,000, you will not give. If you cannot share a food with someone when you have 500 pesos, even if you have 5,000, you will not share the food. I'll tell you why. Because the food that you eat when you have 500 pesos will definitely change when you have 5,000 pesos. Let me repeat that. The food you eat when you have 500 pesos will definitely change when you have 5,000 pesos. Therefore, by that time, the food you will be sharing is more expensive than when you have 500. So if you cannot share when you have 500, definitely you're not going to share when you have 5,000. And the more you will not share when you have millions. Yeah. So you start giving when you have 100. And you will be continuously giving even if you have 5 million. You never learn how to give with little, you'll never give, even if you have so much. And the more, it will cause you stress. Because the money will just grow in the bank, and you will not be able to trust people with the money when you need to invest, when you need to start a business, when you need to help people. Pray that God gives you the generous heart. Because a generous heart is not easy to gain. Trust me, it's never easy to be generous. Never easy. Okay? On number 6, many people fail to grow rich because of this. Integrity. So pray, help me live with integrity. God, Lord, help me to live with integrity. Can you be trusted? Can you get the money you need from clean resources? Or do you need to bully people to get the money that you need? Or do you need to get money? Sabi nila in Tagalog, kapit sa patalim. Whatever source it would be, you will get the money because you need it. This one's gonna hurt. How many of you do tax evasion? That's integrity. Many of us don't see tax evasion as integrity issue. Are you paying your tax? And you say, well, the government will not use it right. It's not your concern. The question is, do you pay your tax? Do you give to Caesar what is due to Caesar? Do you give to the government what is due to the government? It is on them to spend it, and it's their accountability when they use it wrongly. But the question is, do you have the integrity and say, I'm paying my tax? Yes? Who's paying the tax? Ngitian mo na lang ako. You know one thing, with employees, oh, we really pay our tax. What with business people, or you can evade. See, you have more, but you evade. Yes, those employees, they pay taxes. Immediately, it's being deducted from their payroll. But you, business owners, professionals, practicing independently, do you pay taxes? And yet, as a business owner, you demand that your employees be honest with you. Ouch. I told you this one was gonna hurt. You want employees to be honest with you. You will terminate people who cheated 500 pesos from you, who cheated on their time clock. But you're not paying taxes, and that one is even bigger than that. How we manage our finances speaks of how we can be trusted. How we manage our finances is an integrity issue. And I want to challenge you, really, do a quick check in your budgetary. On a scale of 1 to 10, can you really be say that the way you're spending your finances is full of integrity? Parang hirap lunukin ng cake. Number 7, Lord, help me to persevere. How many of you is guilty of getting things as you want it now? I want it now. How many of you are challenged to live according to budget? How many of you feels that you're like belittled, or you're like less significant because you cannot buy things right now? How many of you will honestly say you need to change your spending habits? You know, interesting, some people have the poverty mindset where they have money to spend, but they will not also spend. That's not also good. How many of you will trade off a vacation so you can pay your home mortgage? How many of you can defer buying a brand new shoes, a new clothes, so you can pay your long overdue credit card bills? And not just paying the minimum and the finance charge. How many of you is like, buy, anyhow, we can do staggered payment? Coach Cici, integrity is non-negotiable. Absolutely. Can you persevere for the things that you want? Can you stay undisciplined just so you can afford what you want? Or you will cross the boundary because you want it now? Okay. On number 8, when was the last time you prayed this? God, help me align my priorities with yours. Are your priorities in alignment with God's priorities in your life? Why is it important? Because God provides for the things in priorities of order according to His order, not yours. Many times God will not give you what you want, the money you need, because the priorities are not in alignment with His priorities in your life. So when was the last time you really checked God's priorities in your life? When was the last time you said, Lord, your priorities are my priorities, or make my priorities in alignment with yours? Material pleasures aren't sinful, but the question is, do you sacrifice your calling, your purpose for earthly pleasures? It's not wrong to buy things for you. But the question is, are your spending habits, your spending order is pleasing to the giver? That's not your money. It is loaned to us. It is entrusted to us. Our spending habits, is it in alignment with the giver? At tahimik silang lahat. Bakit kayo tahimik? This is one talk that I want to look at the camera because the eyes of the on-floor guests. I have on-floor guests. This is not Kansan, but they're quiet for tonight. One of the sessions, one of the talks that are specifically and very, very quiet. Pero may tao. Are you still here? Yes! Yeah, they're still here. We start at 7:30. We normally start on offline, and then I'm gonna cut this, and then we will continue our discussions offline. And for those of you joining us online, I pray that one of these days you will come on floor, because really there's so much substance when we go offline, because you gotta learn from people on floor how they digest and how they really receive what we have talked about. And I tell you, there are beautiful people in the house whom you would really love to meet. On my number 9, I'm almost finished. How many of you would pray, Lord, help me develop a long-term focus? Long-term. Can you let go of an expensive steak dinner? Okay, so that you can prepare and put something in your savings so you can finally start the business that you are passionate about? Can you save a peso, a dollar? Can you save some penny for the vacation that you want? All right? Or you will spend as much as you want and just swipe your credit card for the vacation that you want. Pay now or pay later is the same thing. But the question is, when would you like to pay your debts? Where is your eyes focused? I just want to share this. Proverbs 28:19. Just one scripture I want to share. A hard worker has plenty of food, but a person who chases fantasies ends up in poverty. You know what? If you've been working, if you are trustworthy, if you are faithful with the things that God have given to you, you don't have to be worried about the food. You will be fed. You will have food in the table. But if you lay in bed, do your affirmations, do your chanting, and just believe that money will come, then you will end up in poverty. Yeah. There's nothing wrong if you believe and declare for good things, because I believe that there's a power in the tongue. There's a power of declarations. But if you just declare and your declarations are all about fantasies, then you can be so sure of poverty and not richness. Finally, I believe this is the best prayer you can pray if you want to grow rich. God, Lord. Oh, hi Jean, thank you for joining. So Jean, Jean is from my old company. Thank you, Jean, for watching. Finally, number 10. I believe of all the prayers, this one would really put you in alignment. You wanna hear the prayer? Yes. God, center my thoughts and heart on the things of eternity. What we do with the gifts God has entrusted to us in the perspective of eternity will matter if we are going to grow rich in this lifetime or not. It is not self-denial when we put aside some of the expenditures for us to advance the things of the kingdom. Can you really put an investment for the things that would have eternal value? Or you are focused on buying things that provides instant gratification? God never created us and sent us to the earth empty-handed. But every toiling that we have here must have an eternal perspective if we really want to receive the eternal value of what we do. Coach BJ, okay, amen daw on number 10. Yeah. How many of you here have vision, purpose, calling, missions? You have? Okay, let me challenge you. What is the eternal value of your vision? What is the eternal value of your purpose, your calling? The things that you do today, does it have eternal value? If tomorrow never comes, will you be truthfully say, I finished the race? Being rich is being able to have the financial things, the material things, the material things that you want, that you need. Being rich is having a lot of money. But being wealthy is this. Being wealthy is being in a state where you don't have and you don't worry about money. Being wealthy is ultimately being so secured that you don't need the money because the money is available. Being wealthy means that you are no longer living paycheck to paycheck. But you cannot be wealthy if you do not know and you do not understand that you can go rich. If you pray the 10 prayers, what you will receive is not richness. What you will receive is wealth. You will be wealthy. You will not have to worry about the financial gains. You will not have to worry about the material things, the possessions that you have. Because as you pray and grow rich, you will receive the wealth of eternity. Can you pray? Who can pray? Who knows how to pray? Lord, help me to trust you, that in everything, you are in control. Lord, help me trust you, that what I have today is more than enough for me to fulfill the purpose and the calling that you have for me. Help me to trust that the financial status that I have today is exactly what I need so that I will not be in want, that I will forget about you as my provider, or I will be really spending that I will forget that you are the giver of this and what I have is for you. Lord, change my heart, that if there's anything in my heart that is not purified enough, if there's anything in my heart that's hindering the flow of resources in my life, financially, monetarily, I pray that my heart be changed. Lord, I pray that you change my heart, that I will not be entitled about money, but I will look at money as reward for the toiling that I do. Lord, grant me the contentment to believe, to trust, and be happy and be joyful, that in richness and in poorness, in being rich and in being poor, we are still wealthy because you are the provider. Give us the contentment, grant us the contentment to enjoy the fruits of our labor. Allow us to be contented for what we have and allow us to experience the joy of spending. Lord, give me the confidence that you have made me rich in every way, that you have equipped us, you have equipped me with everything I need, and so I will not be hungry. Allow me to be confident. Give me the confidence that I don't have to buy things to boost my confidence. Give me the confidence that who I am today in you is more than enough. That I don't need physical gain. I don't need financial gain for me to be trustworthy, for me to be significant in this world. Because my relationship with you is more than enough to be confident. Lord, give me a generous heart. Generous enough that even if I have my last 50 pesos, I can still give it away for your purpose. Allow me to be generous, that even if it will take millions to advance your kingdom, I can say yes. Lord, help me to live with integrity, that I can say yes to paying my tax joyfully. Help me to live with integrity, that I can give to Caesar, to Julius, to everyone I owe what they deserve. Help me to live in integrity, that no one can accuse me of shortchanging them. When we do business, allow us to pay our bills without shortchanging, especially the people who's helping us in the business. Lord, help us to persevere, that while budget can be challenging, we have to live according to our means, to our budget. Help us to persevere, that all the things we need, all the things we want will come our way according to your timing, according to your perfect timing for our lives. Lord, help us to align our priorities with yours, that when provision is not yet available, then we will seek and find in our hearts and check if our priorities is your priority. Help us to focus on long term, that wherever we spend our money today can bring life not only to us today, but to the next generations, to the people after us. Allow us to see that our long-term goal is not just to live day by day, but to live with confidence that as we spend our money, there is more to come. And finally, God, allow our hearts to be aligned, our thoughts on the things of eternity. Because while we live on earth, while we live for our time, we live only for the sake of seeing you face to face. If you have been blessed with the prayers, I encourage and challenge you, do your own prayer. No one grow rich without praying. Why? Because the rich people knows how to be wealthy. When you pray and grow rich, you receive not riches, you receive wealth. And wealth will give you the freedom to be worthy from today's life. Wealth will give you the financial confidence that you are connected with the source and you need not to live paycheck to paycheck, because God knows no paycheck. He can bless abundantly without you toiling, but how much more when you toil? How much more when you are faithful? How much more if you can be honest? How much more if you can give joyfully? At the end of the day, praying means connecting with God, and being rich is having the power, the capacity to spend like God will spend. Let me repeat that. Being rich is having the power and being in the capacity to spend like God will spend the money. Can you be rich? Yes. Can you be rich? Yes. Are you confident that you can be rich? Yes. Can you pray? Yes. Abundantly? Then wealth is on the way. Good night, everyone. Thank you for joining me. This is Coach A. I'll see you again for the next Strengthening Thursday. Good night.